how's it going today, guys? So I am here with David, and he is a really successful entrepreneur in both the lead generation space and the affiliate marketing space. So I'm going to have him jump on here, tell you a little bit about who he is, and we're just kind of going to go back and forth and give you guys the best value that I can possibly provide. So gonna go ahead and introduce you guys. David.
What's going on, everybody? My name is David Troxel. I've been in the online space for about 4.5 years now. I've done several different ventures online. I've done affiliate marketing very successfully. I currently run a lead generation business as well as a consulting business, showing other people how to do lead generation for small businesses. And I'm also a blogger. I started a blog called liveoutsidethebox.com. So yeah, those are the four main things that I've been involved in, and been doing it full time since early 2016. I've been online full time.
Sweet deal. Now, going back a couple of years when you first started, how did you come into the space? What were you doing beforehand when you found it?
Yeah, so I was working for a sales company. I was actually doing software sales. And, I was making okay money. It wasn't anything phenomenal. It wasn't like six figures or anything like that. But I was kind of on a trajectory to within a few years, maybe make a decent income with it. But it was kind of, I guess you could say, right in the beginning of sort of the online marketing game when it really started getting big on social media. And honestly, I just saw all these people that were some of them younger than me that were traveling full time and making an income online. And I'm like, okay, what is going on here? And I really was trying to figure it out, because traveling and being able to do all those different things was really some of the biggest things that I really wanted to do. I was always into traveling. I never wanted to, work a corporate job. That was never my dream, but I was kind of just on that path. I went to college and just did all those different things that, your kind of society tells you to do, if you will. And so I kind of had this, series of events that really made me, I guess, question what I was doing, and made me realize that, the path that I was on and the route that I was taking was in no way, shape, or form ever going to provide me with the lifestyle that I ultimately did want, which was being able to travel, having time freedom, having location freedom. I was going on a path where, I maybe was going to be able to make, 3 or 4 years down the road, 100,000 or 150,000 a year, but it was going to come at the expense of literally having a week of vacation a year and being stuck in one place and all that. And so that's what got me really, in this online journey in the first place, to just try to figure out, okay, if there's these young kids that are doing it, they're younger than me. I was only 26 at the time, so I wasn't old or anything, but, it was seeing these kids that were my age or younger that were traveling to Thailand and working online, and I just was how I got to figure out how to do this.
Absolutely. I definitely was in the same boat. That's basically how I got started. I was stuck in a brick and mortar business, and I decided to switch it to digital for the freedom of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you jumped into space, did you self-learn and self-educate yourself, or did you get mentors and kind of take that route?
Yeah, I definitely used mentors. I think back then there wasn't the, I guess, abundance of availability of education in YouTube and all those different things. There was YouTube, but in terms of social media marketing and all the things that come with it, there's there was really kind of a lack of people jumping into that space, especially on social media. It was still kind of up and coming. And so I realized that I had to, find somebody to work with me. And so, I initially kind of invested in some education, invested in some mentors, and that's what got me started. And I certainly think that certainly fast tracked the process. And while I do think that, you can definitely kind of self-learn these different things and figure it out as you go, and, use resources, use training, videos and all of that fun stuff. I think that for the average person, it's going to take significantly longer to get up and running if you're trying to self-learn. So I do see value in, the educational aspect of paying for help or mentors, mainly because you're able to leverage their years of experience and expedite the process for yourself. Obviously, if you're, scraping by, you're in your, month to month paying bills and you literally just don't have any money to spend extra, then sometimes you just got to do what you got to do and learn as you go. But for those that have the resources, I 100% see the value in getting some education, getting a mentor, things like that, for sure.
Absolutely. Now, you said you started in affiliate marketing. So did you have like
Yep.
a particular company that you liked their products, or did you and you use their offer and their products, or did you actually have to go through and build your own offer and like spice everything up so it worked better for you?
Yeah, so I actually started with an ajik. I'm not sure if you're familiar.
Yep.
Most people, a
Super
lot of people
familiar.
have heard of it. So that's the offer that I initially got really involved in. I was in a couple of smaller offers prior to that, companies that are like products that probably nobody's really heard of. But I started off in that and kind of got my feet wet. And I combined some of those initial things with like some education. So I was selling the idea of education along with an offer to learn and, to somebody to come in, learn how to do the business and also plug in with a product. So it was, a seamless transition. So they're not just learning, but they're doing. And quickly came up with a marketing program and a marketing system that would teach people sort of the basics. So when people would come into my business, eventually an Agic, they would have a system and a thing in place so that they could duplicate and learn how to market as well. So yeah, that was the main offer that I really did very, very well in.
Sweet. Now, do you currently still use Nagic, not promote an Nagic like today?
I don't actively promote it. I still use the machine, and for those that are looking for the product specifically, I still refer the product to people. And there's some people in the industry that I'm close with that still actively promote. And so for people that are looking for like a specific marketing program or to learn how to do affiliate marketing, I kind of after they're involved in my magic business, I refer them to other places for the education and things to just learn how to do marketing, just general marketing training. So yeah, I still am involved. I'm pretty high ranked in the company from the work that I did before, but I'm more focused on the lead gen stuff at this point.
Absolutely. So let's dive into that lead gen. So
Sure.
how did you come about starting that? Like, what
Mhm.
was your switch from affiliate marketing to that, and why?
Sure. Yeah, several reasons. I mean, number one, like I had built up a skill set over a couple of years, being very successful at marketing for, even though it was, even though the back end product was a Nagic and that was the product that I was selling, I was really branding myself. So I was, building a brand and doing all of my own marketing to build my own business. And I was very good at it. And when I first got started, I mean, I'm not sure how long you've been. How long have you been in the marketing field?
This was actually my fourth year
Okay, so
since
about
I
the same
started.
time,
Yep.
26. Okay, so like when I first got started, it was sort of like you may, depending on the time frame you came in, like 2015 when I first got started, it was sort of the wild, wild west with Facebook. I mean, you could throw up an ad, nothing would get unapproved. You would get leads for pennies, and it was just crazy, right? Like the results were easy to come by, and I kind of, even though there were skills that you needed to learn, I certainly credit sort of my success with timing and just getting in at the right time early before a lot of things changed. So with the election, with all of the meddling and all the stuff, the Russian hacking and all the things that whatever, however that played out, there was a lot of pressure on social media for the things that took place, and through that, Facebook became, and specifically Facebook as well as Instagram because they're owned by it, became a lot more challenging to market on, and technically the biggest challenge is that everybody turns to social media to market affiliate marketing programs. But if we're being honest, most of the things that we call affiliate marketing are generally business opportunities. Yes, there are people that are marketing a product that's just, they're affiliating a physical product or a digital product or whatever. But even most digital products are business opportunity education materials or anything like that. And a lot of the affiliate programs are for like either a multi-level marketing business or something in that world, right? And so we just call it affiliate marketing. And so the problem is that those things are actually specifically not allowed to be marketed on Facebook. Yes, people do it all the time and get away with it all the time, but per the advertising policies, you're not allowed doing that. But what happens is eventually a lot of people get their accounts shut down, ad accounts get flagged, all these different problems come up. And so after doing marketing and affiliate marketing, I was having account issues with Facebook all the time because I was spending a lot of money on ads, and it was all these like affiliate marketing, business opportunity type ads. I had built a rather large team, and that team, when you're managing a team of 1,000 people or so, it's a whole nother kind of job in and of itself to manage all of those people that are on your team. It's a lot of work to just kind of rally all those people together, help them out, get them in the right systems, get them in the right training, and then help them not get account issues and get their account shut down. And so what started out as a journey to get to freedom in 2015, I made a lot of money along the way, but it ended up taking me right back to where I was working, 50, 60 hours a week in front of a computer. I just would, I was able to do it from Bali, but I wasn't able to enjoy the beach, right? I was still working nonstop all the time to get to where I wanted to be. So, I kind of made a transition out of affiliate marketing because I was just, all those different things were kind of combining together. And I initially started just by offering my services to other businesses. So I started out like just offering, hey, like if you're a restaurant or small business or whatever, I'll do your marketing for you. I'll manage your Facebook. I'll manage your social media stuff. I'll kind of manage your online presence and get you a website together or update your website, do your SEO work. So I kind of started a full-blown marketing agency, digital agency, focusing on all those different aspects of a business's online presence. And while it started off pretty well, I had a handful of clients, and I was making decent money from each client. I was making less than I was with affiliate marketing, but I was, doing okay with it, and I had success with it. The problem is that just like with the affiliate space, it started to really take all of my time, because for each client, I was like just doing way too much. I was managing their social media. I was posting and building their content. I was updating their websites. I was doing like 100 different things for each business. And it got to the point where, okay, like I'm strapped for time again, and I can't really expand to get more clients because taking on another client would take up just way too much of my time. So my only other option is to hire people. And then now I'm running a big company again. And so it's just like, these same issues kept coming up. And initially it was probably around coming into the winter of 2018 is when I started really realizing that at the end of the day, the one thing that all of these small businesses want more than anything is just new clients coming in the door. Yes, they at this point in 2020, like basically every business realizes and understands the value of having an online presence. They get that they need a Facebook. They get that they need a website that looks good and looks updated. They get all those things. But to be honest, like your local dentist doesn't really care about his Facebook page. I mean, he knows he needs it, but your local dentist or your local chiropractor or local lawyer or whatever, like they know they need it, but they don't really care. What they really care about is getting new clients through the door. And so if all those different things aren't bringing them clients, there's no value to it for them, right? So I started really realizing, okay, really all these people want is clients. So I've spent 3 years building up a Facebook and Instagram and YouTube marketing skill set to be able to to really target the right people for advertisements, and building landing pages and funnels and offers that convert and ads and all the different things that come into marketing in that side. So why not just focus solely on that? And so I kind of had this epiphany, if you will, of like, why don't I just focus on specifically doing campaigns that will target clients and get leads and customers into these businesses, and not worry about the rest of it. And it was a game changer. I literally was able to hone my focus for a particular client. I was able to greatly reduce the workload of each client that I was working with, so that really about every client that I'm working with is maybe only an hour or two of work every single week. So, maybe 4 to 8 hours a month for a particular one client. And because I was able to actually get them specifically clients and get them tangible results, if I was targeting the right products and services for them, I could get them a massive return on their investment, and I could charge them actually more than I was charging them for doing everything for them. So it ended up being to where now I'm, working and doing this lead generation service for multiple different companies, and I'm charging anywhere from like $3,000 to $5,000 a month per business that I work with, and it's only a couple hours a week per work. And I'm getting them a massive return on their investment because I'm marketing for all sorts of high-end services for these different small businesses.
Gotcha. Now, on the back end of that, of your actual company, are you using like Facebook ads and YouTube ads and sending them directly to a lead page? And basically, the only thing you're controlling and you're doing for the company is the lead generation process. You're not worried about their socials, none of that posting, anything like that.
Yep, that's correct. So all I'm doing is just the lead gen side. So once I deliver a client, I have a whole funnel strung together that captures the lead information, gets them the right info, using the right ad copy, the right promotions, all of those things, and I'm delivering those leads directly to the client in real time. And from there, that client is handling the back end sales process for that lead, and it's hands off at that point. So it's a pretty streamlined process. Once you have a good idea of what you're doing.
Absolutely. Sorry about that. But now on the side of the funnels and everything, what are some things since you first started to now? What has changed? Because I know we both kind of started in the same era, and everything is completely 110% different than how it was when you started. But what are some strategies and stuff that are working for you now that didn't then?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, number one, like I got started with lead pages initially, and switching over to ClickFunnels a few years back really has made things a lot simpler. We went from basically 4 years ago or so, the only type of advertising that I really ever did was just like engagement ads, just boosting a post and things like that would get traction, having the link in the description. Now, obviously, we've moved to conversion ads, and then also I do a lot of lead capture ads through Facebook. So I do a lot of those where I'm gathering the data right on Facebook as kind of like the landing page, if you will. So those things have sort of streamlined the process. And as long as your ads are compliant, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing lead ads for any sort of affiliate business unless you're actually selling a physical product. I would stay away from Facebook lead ads if you're doing any sort of business opportunity type stuff. But anybody doing any sort of other marketing that you need leads, that's a really good solid way to do it. Obviously, I've started using like the dynamic creative, which is really nice for split testing inside of Facebook when we're split testing different variables and things like that. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely been some changes in progression. In some ways, I think Facebook ads have become easier in a lot of ways for the newest person to come in and get results, but it's certainly it can also at the same time be a lot more challenging for people who are involved in questionable offers. And so take that as you will. I mean, I know all sorts of people are in all sorts of different, businesses and things like that. But I think Facebook has done a decent job of kind of weeding out the scams as much as possible and making way for people that are offering legitimate products and services.
Absolutely, I agree with you there. Definitely Facebook ads are changed up and everything. Now, during the current market times, what are you doing differently in business, or are you doing anything differently in business?
Are you saying in terms of like the coronavirus stuff going on?
Correct. Everything just kind of shifting the market and everything kind of
Sure.
shifting around.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people that are, number one, there's a lot of people that are going to be looking for entrepreneurial opportunities here soon. I don't think it's really hit yet because people are kind of bunkering down, if you will, to see how this is going to play out and trying to save money and things like that. I mean, some people may be jumping into businesses right now, but probably a lot aren't. But in terms of the lead generation, a lot of what I've been doing has been small businesses that are closed right now, right? They're doing things like, I was doing things like dentists and chiropractors and doctors and all that stuff. And so, that while it's fine, I'm not like concerned about it long term because I know that, number one, it's not going to be forever. I mean, this is gonna change. But number two, in any sort of situation like this where we have drastic market changes, unless it was to be like a full-blown war or something like that, like World War III happening on United States ground, anything short of that, you're going to have some businesses that will have a dive in their productivity and a dive in their sales, but you're also going to see a rise in other businesses. So all I've really had to do is pivot the type of businesses that I'm working with. So I have started pursuing things like commercial cleaning companies and different companies that do like deep sanitation and all sorts of different e-com products. There's obviously a whole new rising sort of category of e-com products. So I'm marketing for e-com companies. So the good thing is that the principles of what I do, or the principles of lead generation, will survive through any market really, unless there was a complete shutdown of some sort, which if that was the case, no business opportunity would be working. But essentially all I've had to do is just pivot my focus on what I do. But at the same time, on the backside of all of this, it's not like dentists are going anywhere. It's not like chiropractors are going anywhere. Like things are just paused right now. But there's a massive opportunity on the backside because a lot of these businesses are going to need to do marketing to come back full force, right? They're going to come out of this in a month or two, and they're going to need to go full speed to get caught back up. So they're going to be looking to do marketing. They're going to be looking to build their online presence. There's going to be sort of I guess you could say, a sense of urgency to do this. So yeah, I'm not really concerned. And we've also, like, I offer a consulting program where I work with people to help them build their own lead generation business. And so there's an uptick in people that are interested in that because they're looking for legitimate opportunities of how to build a real online business. And so we've had increased interest in those type of things. People that are gearing up because I think on the backside of this, there's going to be a whole new category of wealthy people created that have kind of I don't want to say use this situation to their advantage, but did the best that they could with what they had to come out of this on top.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with you there. So when you are doing your lead generation, is there anything that you have noticed in your funnels that is like a really small tweak that a lot of people miss, or is just something that a lot of people don't necessarily think of that has changed your results for, like your conversion rating or your offer or anything like that?
Yeah, so I think these principles apply with any sort of business. It doesn't really matter whether it's affiliate marketing or e-com products or small business services. It doesn't really matter what it is. At the end of the day, I think it is typically going to come down to the offer and the messaging. Good copy and a good offer will always convert as long as you're targeting the right people that are positioned to be interested in that offer. So really just becoming clear on what it is you're offering and your messaging, and also having the right incentives to get people to take action right away. So you always want, just throwing out marketing is not going to necessarily do anything. For example, a small business like a chiropractor doing marketing for a free consultation, right? That's not exactly the most enticing thing, probably because 99% of chiropractors are doing free consultations. It's not like an offer. But if you're offering some sort of a significant discount or something like that, that is going to entice people to take action. That's what gets conversions. And so you got to be creative with your offer that you're presenting to people and your messaging, and just fine tuning those is really the key. And I think that kind of transcends business category. I think that that's for everything when it comes to online marketing.
Yep, I agree with you there. So now on your advertising, stuff like that, are you using video sales letters, or are you using, like, what is your go-to thing that works for generally any type of business?
Yeah, it's a mixture of everything. We split test, and sometimes it's going to be different for each individual business niche that we work with. Like right now, we work with over 30 different types of businesses all across the market. So there's not necessarily one thing that works for each person, because different companies are targeting a different type of person, right? Depending on what service is being offered. So yeah, it's a combination of just long form, image posts with copy on it. Some of them are video sales letters where it takes them into a more in-depth thing. Some of them are just informational videos, more about their product and services. That's just like the ad itself. So it really is a mix, but we are using, the main, I wouldn't say we're doing anything unique, if you will, if that makes sense, something that's not being done elsewhere. Everything that we do is just kind of tried and true methods that are used all across digital marketing.
Absolutely. So are you a part of the ClickFunnels community pretty heavily?
Not really, no. I've never been to any of their events or anything like that. I mean, I just use their service. I don't know. It might be. I mean, coming up here this year, I may be eligible for the Comic Club or whatever, but we'll see how that goes. Just because of the funnel that we're using for our lead gen consulting. But yeah, I don't really do much else with it other than just use the product.
Sweet. That's all I was curious about, because I know you said that on the status you had a couple seven figures or a couple businesses that were getting close, and we were talking about ClickFunnels, and that's kind of why I was curious, is for the 2 Comic Club award. But yeah, so we're basically out of time now. So where would be the best place if somebody wants to find out more information from you or connect with you better? Where would be the best place for them to go?
Yeah, you can go to my blog. It's liveoutsidethebox.com. And it kind of just, it has all, it's kind of a central hub for a lot of the things that I have going on. It's a lot of value posts. It's not just a bunch of salesy stuff. So yeah, you can feel free and check out my blog. And then, yeah, it'll link you to my social media stuff as well there. And yeah, so that's probably the best way. And it'll tell you more about the different businesses that I'm doing, and if something like consulting or whatever, if that sort of lead generation business is something that interests you, we do have a full educational program where I'm personally working with the group of people that are doing it. So it's a good opportunity for people to learn more about that and kind of get started in their own business. And yeah, that's a good starting point.
Sweet. All right. Well, I appreciate you for jumping on, and I appreciate you for taking time out of your day to answer a bunch of my questions and kind of go into what you have going on.